Alright, last video this week. It is volume of a sphere, and this one is the weirdest formula yet, so all I can say is just try to memorize it. It's weird though. So the volume of a sphere is going to be 4/3. I know that's an ugly fraction, but that's why we have those fancy calculators. 4/3 times pi times radius, and this time radius is cubed, not squared. So this is also different to remember than cones or anything else. So radius is going to be cubed this time. And part of the reason that 4/3 is such a weird fraction is because it's taking care of our height. So there's no height to add in. That's why it's 4/3. It's part of the ratio of making it a three-dimensional circle and being able to shave off part of what would have been a cube. So that 4/3, even though it's kind of a gross fraction, we kind of need it. So just look at that formula and try to remember it. All right, let's just try example 1. Volume. So our formula again is 4/3 pi radius cubed. So the only thing we need out of this whole thing to calculate a sphere is the radius, because we're going to use 4/3, we're going to use our fancy pi button, and we're going to use the radius. So in this case it's 2.1, and we're going to take 2.1 and cube it. So all you guys need to do is put this in your calculator. So watch closely how to make sure you know how to do this so that you can use a calculator properly. Alright, 4/3. It's been a while since we've done fractions, but you will push 4, and then you'll push the ABC button, and then you'll push 3. In a calculator, 4 ABC 3 means 4/3. Times pi button, or you can use 3.14, times 2.1. Alright, on this calculator, how to do it to the third power is you have to use this little caret key. It means to the, and then 3 for third power. Or you can push 2.1 times 2.1 times 2.1. You can times it by itself multiply it by itself 3 times. Equals 38 we are rounding to the nearest tenth. So 38.7 bumps up to 8. So 38.8, and that is centimeters cubed, and that is all there is to it. Alright, let's try example 2. The only difference from example 1 to 2 is, once again, they gave us an entire diameter instead of just the radius. So you're going to have to cut 7 in half and know that it's 3.5 for our radius. Alright, so the formula is 4/3 pi radius cubed. So we're going to put in our calculator 4/3 times pi times 3.5 cubed. Alright, I'll put it in my calculator again so you guys can practice seeing it. 4/3 is 4 ABC 3 times pi button times 3.5 to the, that little caret key right there means to the third power. And that equals 179 we're going to round that up to 6. 179.6 centimeters cubed. This is all very simple. Okay, example 3. Soccer balls come in several different sizes. One soccer ball has, okay, so here's one. One soccer ball has a diameter, that's the whole thing, of 22. What is the volume? Alright, so you're going to have to, again, cut the 22 in half, so all we care about is 11, because all we need is a radius. And we're going to multiply 4/3 times pi times 11 cubed. Alright, one more time in the calculator. So 4 ABC 3 times pi button times 11 to the third power. 5,575 that 2 gets bumped up to a 3. So 5,575.3, and that is centimeters cubed. Alright, last example. The diameter of a basketball is about 1.1 times that of a soccer ball. Okay, so in order to do 4, we're going to have to look at 3, maybe. Let me read on. The diameter of a tennis ball is about 0.3 times that of a soccer ball. How do the volumes of these balls compare to that of a soccer ball? Okay, So here is our soccer ball volume. Let's now go ahead and do basketball and tennis ball. So here's basketball, here's soccer ball, here's tennis ball. Soccer is 557, 5.3. There's tennis. Here's basketball. Okay, so let's calculate this. So the diameter of a basketball is 1.1 times that. So if our radius of our soccer ball was 11, we need to, oh, it says the diameter. Okay, so we need to go back to the diameter up here. So let's look at 22. So if the diameter of a soccer ball was 22 and the diameter of a basketball is 1.1 times our 22 from our soccer ball, that's what we need to do first. We need to first take 1.1 times 22. So 1.1 times 22 is 24.2, and that tells us that's the diameter. So the diameter of our basketball is 24.2. 24.2 for the whole diameter across the entire thing. All right. Let's go ahead and find the volume, because that's part of the answer, or part of the question is comparing the volumes. So if this is 24.2, we need the radius, which is half of that. So that would be 12.1. All right, so for a basketball, it is 4/3 times pi times 12.1 cubed. Let's find what that is. So 4/3 times pi times 12.1 to the third power, which is 7,420.7. Let's round that up to 7. Okay, so if this one is 5575.3, 5575, sorry, 0.3. This basketball one is 7420.7. And now let's figure out our tennis ball. So our tennis ball, again, it's talking about diameter and how it is 0.3 times the diameter of a soccer ball. So let's go back to our diameter of a soccer ball, which was 22, and take it 0.3 times for the soccer ball. So 22 times 0.3, or 0.3, same thing, 6.6. So our diameter of a tennis ball is 6.6. But remember, we only need the radius, so we're going to have to cut that in half. So 6.6 divided by 2 is 3.3. All right, so our diameter is 3.3. All right, so for our tennis ball, we are going to do 4/3 times pi button times 3.3 cubed to get our volume. All right, let's put that in the calculator. 4 ABC3 times pi button times 3.3 cubed. So 3.3 to the third power. 150.5. So this one is 150.5. Okay, and then it says, how do they compare? How do these two compare to our soccer ball? And explain. I would divide these to see how much bigger the basketball is. So I'm going to first compare the basketball. So 7420.7 divided by our soccer ball, 5575.3, and see how those two compare. So let's just see. 7420.7 divided by 5575.3 it's about 1.3 times bigger. So I'm rounding it, but I'm going to say that's about 1.3. So the basketball, is about 1.3 times bigger than the soccer ball. And now let's divide the soccer ball by the tennis ball so we can compare those. So again, our soccer ball was 5575.3 and our tennis ball was only 150.3. So when we divide those, let's see what we get. Alright, so you have 5575.3 divided by 150.3. It's about 37.1 if I round it. So 37.1 times bigger. Alright, so the soccer ball is about 37.1, but that's fine, about 37 times bigger than the tennis ball. Okay, and you guys are done. The backside is your practice. Good luck.